Hello, gamers. It is episode 6, week 5, upcoming for the Why Do Boys Play Games League. This is the Why Do Boys Make podcast, the only official podcast of the Why Do Boys Make Play Games League. I am not alone, but I will be your host this week. My name's Fitzy, and I'm joined by, does that say Daddy? Nope, it's Addy on the back wall. Colin, welcome into the pod.
Hello, Fitzy. I'm feeling strong today.
I'm glad you're feeling strong. Another strength here coming from, does that say head first? Nope, it's head first like Pete Rose. It's Corby.
What's up? What's up, gamers? After a wet and wild weekend, I'm ready to go head first like Pete Rose. Rest in peace.
Yeah, so let's start with that. Let's start by getting, because I thought, we might wait until bets of the week because we got a big wet bag of bets over there ready to go. But let's start off with what we did this past weekend. In editing, I'm going to be putting up a quick slideshow of just a couple images here. We might throw a video or two of the tailgate, which took place mostly in two separate sedans parked next to each other. We happened to show up to a game that was not forecasted to have rain at it without any sort of rain gear. And then we got to watch the second lowest scoring team of the week in the NFL beat the lowest scoring team of the week. That was true on Sunday before the Dolphins played. The Dolphins might have beat us out here. In any case, no offense, just good old slobber-knocking defense in the mud. How did you guys like the game?
I liked it because the Broncos won. I also liked it because there were a lot of Broncos fans around us, and there was one gentleman in particular who was screaming so loud after every time he was having a good time. He was smoking cigarettes. It was awesome. Just smoking cigarettes in the stands. And we sat all the way at the top, so you couldn't miss a single thing. In hindsight, I was really cold and wet and nasty, but in hindsight, I had a really wonderful time. Honestly, I thought it was a great time.
Yeah, I'd never been to a game, so I was like, I was like, oh, this isn't a very good game. But then at the end of the game, I was like, that was a great game. So I had a great time. I appreciate, letting me come along. I'm glad I was afraid I wouldn't see a touchdown, but there was a touchdown. So shout out to Bo Nix. We got to see Bo Nix's first passing touchdown of his career.
I did not realize that. Is that true?
It is true. We witness history. That ball will be in Canton when he's a Hall of Famer.
Unless Cortland Sutton kept it. You never know. That could have been a milestone for him as well.
That is true.
All right. So at the risk of getting too sloppy here, too wet, we don't want to soak all the way through the mailbag. We got a big bag here this week. What do you say we get into it?
Let's tear it open.
All right. Just before the bottom ripped out, we got to see our first comment of the week here from Mike saying Corby will try to remember every single action Colin makes in their future interactions from now on.
I think I will pay attention less now, is actually how I feel.
Well, we'll find out later this season.
I'm disappointed to hear you say later this season, Colin, because I was keeping a secret diary.
I knew you would.
That's why I couldn't do it. I've been studying our interactions. I know exactly what sweater Kim was wearing, so I'm disappointed to see that we're not going to be having a quiz today.
I don't even know what sweater she was
wearing. It's Colin.
Yeah, I don't know what sweater she was wearing.
That's okay. Mike here also says, I always hated any cinnamon candy I received, so that would probably be at the top. But growing up, I absolutely hated getting Crunch Bars. So a response here to our secret question of the week. Corby, you were the uploader this week, am I right?
I did upload, and I did ask this question. I'm sure I feel like I always ask this question, or always talk about candy during this time of year. This is a spicy, bold take from Mike about not liking Crunch Bars or not getting Crunch Bars. I don't know what they ever did to you, but man, I used to love getting Crunch Bars. That was my favorite when I was a kid, for sure.
Oh, I'm a little bit with Mike. I didn't hate it though because it was Garrett's favorite, so it was a good trade. Good. Yeah, trade. In the marketplace, it was good in the Fitzgerald household.
I like it.
Yeah, definitely agree about the cinnamon. Yes, I also love Crunch Bars. So, but opinions are like Crunch Bars. Everyone gets them. All right, yeah, I should take this one. Fuck you, Corby. I respect you. I respect Yoga Fanoy's about gaming to the point. So I guess he has he had his gaming channel, and he was gaming in it. He was indeed gaming. So
One thing I like about it, I'll just flash up last week's overall, the thumbnail here. It says gaming ... more. When we clicked more live on the pod, I didn't know this, and I only saw it, after the fact. It's nothing else. It's just like Google's translate button. It's gaming. That's it.
I respect it. 5 booms on the boom meter.
all right, here we go. Do you guys ever watch an episode of Degrassi?
Oh yeah, I watch a lot of Degrassi.
I didn't know that. Oh,
Yeah,
well,
I watched it in my teenage years, mostly during the summertime, but like
when they show
everyone-
every Degrassi ever.
yeah,
Basically,
right. That was when I would watch it.
Wow, that was a huge bonding point over me and Michael, like in middle school. So I'm surprised that you weren't in there, I guess. But
I was closeted, obviously.
Degrassi questions for Colin. Fitzy, any knowledge on this show besides that Drake got shot?
None whatsoever. And that's legitimately all that I know about it is Drake in wheelchair. I've seen stills. I've probably seen a couple images of him, videos of him pushing himself around.
All right, Degrassi questions for Colin. Least favorite Degrassi character. I recommend you watching a compilation on either Ashley or Emma Nelson. Ashley Kerwin and Emma Nelson, just two insufferable. Ashley, really, just so mean. Just like so unnecessarily awful. And at the time you watch, I didn't think she was that bad, but I've really been diving back into Degrassi lately. Just like watching, I think I said I watched a retrospective, and
Yep.
she's just very mean. Least favorite Degrassi character, that's tough. Oh no, I said least favorite first. Favorite, I skipped the first one. Favorite Degrassi character. It's tough because they're all kind of gray. They're all morally gray. There's no I don't feel like there's like a star. Everyone likes JT. He's cool. Then he gets killed, so. I'd think probably Manny. I think Manny's really fun. I think she's fun. She's cute. She's trendy. She wears a thong in one episode. It's really a big deal. Saddest moment in Degrassi. There's a lot of stuff that goes on in that show. The saddest moment in Degrassi is when.
Whoops.
Hey,
Sorry. My bad.
Hey, whale tail.
Edit that out.
Whale tail. Shout out to Cash for that one. Saddest moment in Degrassi was when, I guess we'll say, I guess it was the whole Rick thing. Yeah, he shot Jimmy. He shot Drizzy, and he got in a wheelchair. Favorite Degrassi scene was probably Rick shooting Jimmy. It's iconic. It's not like I'm like woohoo, but it's like it's iconic. It's like it's the most famous episode and the most famous scene, and now it's like even grown exponentially in fame because he shot Drake. So there's a music video for Drake. I'm upset. I don't know this song, but it's got the cast. The music video is he goes to like a Degrassi reunion, and like all the people are there. It's like 15 years later or whatever, and Rick shows up even though he's dead in the show, and they jump him. It's really funny. So that's my Degrassi.
Did the listeners like Degrassi? Did you like another piece from this period? I know I'm going to be commenting Gilmore Girls down in the comments this week. Put it down in the box.
Team Jess.
My favorite part of Degrassi is the scene where one of the guys has a boner and he has to go.
Oh, Spinner. Yeah.
Spinner, without a doubt, the worst character in the whole show.
Really? I kind of like Spinner. He had a good arc. Daniel Jones back in form. Dude hasn't thrown a touchdown at home in like over 600 days. Is that true?
He threw a pick six earlier this year. So
he threw a touchdown.
He threw a touchdown. He's fine.
I'm ready to apologize. I'm going to become a Daniel Jones apologist.
What do you mean?
I'm going to tell people that I think he's good. Is
Okay.
what I mean. That's what an apologist is, right?
Yeah, but like you bet on him in the beginning of the year, so I thought you were already kind of an apologist.
I love betting on him from a fantasy perspective. It's the same reason why I still have Drake May on my team. A guy who's going to run the ball a little bit. Yeah, put him on the team. Speaking of put him on the team, Mark Andrews. No
comment. We'll get into that.
Okay, I liked this one. I am glad me having a good team is as rare as Haley's Comet. I can't wait for the future Comet appearances.
What a good sport.
He could be
Yeah.
like he could make his name Haley's Comet.
Haley's.
Oh shit, that's great,
Oh,
Corbett. Was that off the cuff?
It's just
Or-
right off the cuff. I
That's
just
awesome, dude. That's awesome.
thinking about Cole Komet way too much today. Way too many hours today. It's weird.
Okay.
Well, I'll get. I was trying to prep a segment here. Mike, you are going to be featured in a segment. Probably next week. So we'll have the charts ready for you. So, Haley's Comet striking again. Oh, this one's for me. Thanos' quote is "No resurrections this time" after choking out Loki in Infinity War. And yes, Fitzy, it's a reference to what you said in last week's episode about the sweats miracles. Lol. Great game though, Fitz. You have a good team. We'll think about it.
After Thursday Night Football last week, Nikki Glaser had a bit where she called Aaron Rodgers throw Rogan as well. Funnish Fagus, the second Packers related team picture that Chris has had. He was do we have the rest of it? What was he? It was the cheese thing. Do you guys remember?
He had the cheese head guy.
Cheesehead guy.
I'm assuming it's because you're zoomed in too far, is why it won't show the whole comment.
The other is when he was the 11th seed with that
Yes.
man wearing
Okay.
the cheese head. Yeah. You guys
Yeah,
remember
that was another one that he had the
I do
cheesehead guy for
For a long
a
time.
year after he had that team name, though.
Yeah, he was like a shepherd, I think, with that one. And I
Yeah,
forget what
yeah, that's
else.
right. It was command. Yeah, Femshep.
Yeah, Femshep. Yeah.
We've got a box bomb. Chris
Oh,
said to me that he tried to accept the McBride for Mason trade, but couldn't because
Oh.
Randy accepted the trade.
Oh
First.
wow!
We're gonna get into this one during the week 4 recap. I've got some notes. Not so animated this time. I promise. Couldn't agree more. Braylon Allen is an absolute stud. Well worth the $21. I think if there was an insufferable Broncos fan near us who kept talking, I was the insufferable Jets fan who every time Braylon Allen ran the ball, I said, he's the best running back in the league. He's the best,
said that
he's
a
the
lot.
best running back in the league.
He said that a lot, but he also looks like he was shot out of a cannon every time he ran.
Because he's the best running back in the league.
It's so
Definitely
fast.
the best running back on his team.
Not a spicy take.
Corby, why don't you take this one?
Yeah, I'll take this one. Sure. Mike is on a tear here, obviously. A lot of Mike here. Bryce Young is the worst quarterback I have ever seen, and I watch every Zach Wilson snap. The Red Rocket is here to stay. Yeah, he's bad, but like, is he Paxton Lynch bad? Is he like who's the guy who threw 5 touchdowns against the Chargers?
Nathan
who's
Peterman?
the Bills.
Peterman?
Yeah, Nathan
Yeah.
Peterman. That guy's really bad. He's probably worse than those guys, though.
You know what? It's the draft capital. Like, I can point to a guy like Christian Hackenberg is probably worse. But Bryce Young was the first overall pick. So yeah, I agree with you here, Mike.
True.
Okay. So he agreed, Colin, spend the fab on players you believe in. This was never my point. Never my point. It was just the gap between first and second fab spend.
Right, but like obviously you don't know that at the time. All right, we don't need to get into it.
Yeah, not the point. Not the point. Post bet regret. That's all I mean.
Hearing all these Family Guy transitions takes me back to a high school classroom on a Friday when mean Mr. Griggs is subbing.
Good times.
You're
Family Guy
a mean one.
Fridays.
Mr. Griggs. I'm so sad I can't make it to the Jets Broncos game. Have fun and be safe. We were safe.
That's funny.
Chris Colby says Jed and I are on the couch ready to enjoy this week's episode. Hooray! I don't like that you put me on your TV. That's weird.
You know what? I say go for it. But I also think it's time that you get Jed a YouTube account because we're looking for subscriber number 17. We thought for sure it would be Yogi Fanoy, but I think Jed Colby just might be our guy. Chris, and I'll give, I'm going to read it in Chris's voice through Scott Hanson. Since the trade, I would have lost both weeks anyway. Colin Swords lost last week because of the trade. Who actually lost? Me still probs.
I think the jury's still out on that one. I think you both lost the trade.
I agree.
Really?
I don't know. I can't talk about your trade anymore. I can't.
Until I haven't done the math on last week's, but until one of you wins or loses a week because of the trade, it's too early to tell.
Okay.
That's kind of my barometer. Fitzy, add me in as one of the few to not see all of the Marvel movies. I've seen like 3. I'm with you. I saw a few. Thinking about the possibility of getting 5 big booms for a name change. Oh,
It could happen. It could happen at any time.
Could happen this week.
It could happen this week.
Let's find out.
Just keep changing. You get booms.
Wow, there's so many comments. Holy shit.
Corby, why don't you take this one?
My theory for spending all my fab, I have the worst flexes in the league. If I can start at least 2 of them and have them be good, then I think that's a win. A fab.
We'll get into it.
Yeah. So here, like, I this second half of the sentence makes total sense. It's just this if. The if is carrying a lot of weight there. And then hold on, yeah, Corby, what does this say? Do you speak Spanish?
It says fob. Pardon me. Can we please translate that in English?
Oh, okay, I see
it
now.
says fab. It says fab. Okay. Like free agent acquisition budget is, I think, what it means.
Oh.
Chris keeps going on here. I'm always ready for my next pod appearance. We'll see you at some point this season. I don't know when it will be, but I'm sure you'll be there. And we're happy to have you. Finally, the moment I've been waiting for. Adam, more pod forever. More pod forever for sure.
Garbage. See you, buddy.
Not the Foreman Suicide Club.
What does that mean?
I'm sure, he had like a bunch of carries one week, and then the next week he had like 2 carries, and that was it. And I don't even know what he did. I don't even know what he did this past week.
Was he so attached to him that it becomes the Foreman Suicide Club?
He's good. I don't know. I like the Foreman.
Yeah, great story.
Great story and great comment there from Adam. He also comments, Colin has committed many swindles over the years.
Allegedly.
I need to see the receipts on that. I need to see what kind of bullshit you were handing out.
Well, I'm sure he's talking about the 2 Taylor trades.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
The ones that set a narrative in motion. Just to, after the
That's
draft,
only been exasperated over
after the draft, the vultures start circling immediately.
Josh Johnson.
Bet is on.
With who?
We gotta make sure we put that one into the doc here. LOL, dude. I was wondering who that Yogi Fenoi person was. So I was so confused looking at his profile. Yogi Fenoi, if you are here, reply to this comment, bitch.
Calling you out, Yogi.
Put it at the top. Make sure he sees it.
Wow.
Because he's gonna be scrolling through someday, and he's gonna see his channel in a thumbnail. In fact, I'm sorry, I've got to unlove all the other comments only so that Yogi Fenoi can see this one. No offense.
Wait, can you pin that? You can pin it, can't you?
Oh, you're right. Okay, I'll go back to. I'll try to love the ones that I loved before. Probably that.
I think the dots, maybe.
Pinned.
Yeah.
Our first ever pinned comment.
Oh, that's big. Mark Andrews is
one.
Adam says Mark Andrews is so dead. Peaky Finders. He's peaking. He's gonna peak at the right time. He's just conserving his energy. Just wait.
Sure.
Till this week.
Put some respect on Zach Moss. Hey, put some respect on the entire Bengals backfield this past week. Mike's team is lit, easily number 1 in my mental power rankings. When you're just making them mentally, you can put anyone you want at number 1. But I appreciate Adam. I had this moment of appreciation for you this week. You keep putting your heart and soul into these comments. You put hot takes out there. So when you're wrong, yeah, we can laugh at it. Everyone else, I want to see you putting hot takes in. You miss 100% of the takes you don't write down in our comment section.
That's exactly right, Fitzy. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. When I say they just at wounds that never, it's just as scars that never felt a wound, that's what I mean. Yeah, I'm putting my shit out there, and you're going to hate on me? Yeah, respect to Adam.
Whoa. Say that again.
I said earlier this year he's the best manager in the league. We jinxed Adam. Mike for sure. We jinxed Mike for sure. We'll get into it.
Just zero reason to bid that much on Steele, especially with Clyde Edwards-Helaire breathing down his neck
Oh
in
my
week 5.
God.
And this is the comment that inspired me to give you props, Adam, because it's okay to say the first half of this. It is something to say the second half.
Yeah, that is spicy. That is spicy.
I've never heard of a football player getting football-related PTSD before. And, I'm not going to hate on it. I could not survive mentally in the NFL. But Clyde Edwards-Helaire sure has not.
Zamir White is heinous. You guys will regret picking against me. I don't think we did, but
I do not.
Not quite time to get into it. Well,
I do think Zamir White is heinous, though.
Okay, and we saved this one for live on the pod. Homework assignment, listen to MJ Lenderman for my team name context.
Wait, look at the album cover. That's Adam's picture.
It's Joker Lips.
Joker Lips. Or it was his picture.
Hey.
Joker Lips.
Oh, shit.
It was brought to you by MJ Lenderman.
All right.
All right, I don't want to listen to all this. We just here. This is
Coward cutting, Joker lips
that's much better.
into a rubber mask. Please don't ask. How do
We're gonna get
you
copyright
end?
strike.
You're right. I need to
Didn't come
flip
from
this around or
hotel
something.
shower.
YouTube will never find this.
Come from hotel showers. I like it.
To pass a little faster.
Why is there like Korean like before the? Is he big in like Asia?
I did that to avoid the copyright. Yeah.
Okay, that sounds good. I'm gonna listen to the whole album probably tomorrow, Adam. Thanks for the suggestion.
Thanks for stuffing that bag of mail, everyone. It's time to move on to week 4. And we start with the continuation of No More Miracles as Chris Cloud beats me down, nearly avoids the Monday Night Miracle. For those who did stay up to watch it, we had a Sam Laporta target in the end zone toward the end of that game that could have flipped it. Unfortunately for me, and very fortunately for Chris, we got 2 scores in the 160s. So this is it's the type of thing you like as a fantasy manager. You like when you score a lot of points and you needed it. So good on you, Chris.
That was a tight one, huh? Sam Laporta versus David Montgomery, basically. Is that right? Was that the only 2, basically?
Except for the fact that me, I've got all the Detroit.
Oh,
so
that's
I
right.
also had Jameson Williams and Jahmyr Gibbs kicking it. And then not to mention Tennessee defense putting up 10. So this was one where going into Monday night, I had something like a 17 or 23% chance to win. It got close to 50-50. It really came down to that last Detroit drive. Second to last, I should say, yeah.
Well, that's 2 heartbreakers in a row for Fitzy, where he's had a very good, what did you have, 156 last week? So that's tough because those are 2 winning scores in a row, I think, for you. You just happen to play, again, teams who outdid you. So I think you're in a very comfortable 2-2. You must be near the top anyway of the 2-2 teams. So you got a good team.
Yeah, I agree. I think you've got a great team here, Fitz. Chris just edged you out a little bit better. I don't know if there was anything you could do on your bench or anything to do it, to fix it or anything, but I wouldn't let it beat you down, So sometimes it's a coin flip, right? I don't know.
This is my first week of trade regret, because if you take Sam Laporta out and put in any bum tight end who's going to get me probably 0.1 points, but then you basically slot Jordan Mason in over Devin Singletary, and I win the matchup. So it's the first week of, probably could have made this work. Not regretting the trade yet, but it's another weird week for me here. 162 is high for this team.
Yeah.
I am not expecting Brian Thomas Jr. to get over 20 every week. Chuba Hubbard continues to pace the league here. And Anthony Richardson, he's on the trade block if anyone still likes him, is all I'm going to say about that. It's been tough out here. Like you said, the past 2 weeks, winning scores. We're about to see a couple weeks, I believe, of very much non-winning scores. We will get into that in our week 5 segment here. Good work, Chris. Next matchup, the matchup of 2 name changes. I will not comment on those because we got a lovely segment for that later. But Adam starts a bunch of fucking worthless idiots out here. Rashee Rice putting up 0. I mean, I wasn't watching the 1:00 games, but we did have Red Zone pulled up in the parking lot, and we did get to watch a lot of that Kansas City game. Looking tough out here for Adam in the long term and in the short term, as you've got Brandy with 24 points from Jordan Mason. Oh man, wish I had him on my team. Nico Collins, though, with 33 points. I think for a long time in this, I don't know when he scored his touchdown, but I remember we kept looking up at the fantasy scores in the stadium, and it kept being like 10 for 100+ yards, no touchdown. So he's just like a PPR god. I love Nico Collins. Do you guys have any notes on this matchup here?
I think Nico Collins is my new favorite receiver in the NFL.
Oh my god, he's so much fun.
He's unbelievable. He's just like because we didn't get to watch the games on Sunday, so Brandon and I were watching highlights last night, and he just like makes it look so effortless. It's so weird that like after his first 2 seasons he was nobody, and then last year he just gets a good quarterback, and that's all he needs, and it's awesome. Brandy, your team is awesome. You scored 151. Love it. Love to see it. Adam, you started Cam Akers. He is who you thought he was. And I hope you don't have to start him again. Yikes, dude. Sorry about Rice, but I saw some guy on Twitter saying that he didn't tear his ACL, which seems unbelievable. Oh, but that could be fake news. I don't know. Adam's in big trouble here, in my opinion.
Well, the good news for Adam is that he owns every possible, I mean, he's a receiver, but every possible handcuff that Rashee would have, which is, he has Kelsey and Xavier Worthy. We're going to benefit from, the surplus of targets now. But unfortunately, they all play for the Chiefs, who just haven't been very good on offense. They got Patrick Mahomes throwing the ball. Patrick Mahomes, who took out Rashee's knee, and Adam responds not just to the fact he did that, but the fact that he just hasn't been playing good with. Oh yeah, we'll get into the name change, but. Yeah, he's fallen from grace for sure, even in Adam's eyes, his most staunchest defender. Great job, Brandy. Great team. I also love Nico Collins. Did Brandy lose the first game? Is this a 3-win streak? Am I wrong in saying that?
I think you're right about that.
It's a 3-win streak.
Yep. So that's so red hot. Love it. Let's keep it going.
No, before we move on, I just want to make one more comment here. Because Adam is a loyal listener. Adam's going to hear me say this. And Adam has the rare, my defense led my team in scoring. I want to see the stats on this. I would love if I had this much detail to say. I want to say when your defense leads your team in scoring, that's got to be like a 95% loss record, like when that happens. So even though you get 24 from San Francisco, nobody else topping 20. We'll round it off. Brandy's team is so fun. Just so fun. Oh man, this team's no fun, huh? Oh, man, Taylor, the last winless team in the league, a team that we all liked a lot coming into the year, versus Eric. There's no button to press. Eric is on the recliner, just pressing the up and down button very lightly every week. He's got a very steady team here, putting up 156. Standouts to me here would certainly be, obviously Derrick Henry busting something off on the second play of the game, right? But Jaden Reed, he's another guy who makes it look effortless. I'm surprised at just how good he is. Like, do you guys think if we were going to redraft today that he would be top 18 at receiver? Like, where does Jaden Reed go in a redraft right now?
I don't have my rankings right here, but I'm pretty sure he was in my. If I didn't draft CeeDee Lamb by accident, I would almost definitely have Jaden Reed in this league. It bums me out because I think I had him in top 18. I love Jaden Reed. So yes, he would definitely be top 18 for me. He would go for, I think, probably above 30. I don't know if he'd be like.
I think you're right.
Well, he'd probably be in like the Waddle kind of range. I don't know what Waddle went for.
Well, and then Waddle would obviously be bumped down from the Waddle range, probably to the Jaden Reed range.
So he'd be in. I don't know. Things are too chaotic still. I think he'd be between 30 and 40, maybe above 40. I love Jaden Reed.
Yeah, he seems pretty good. What's not good is Taylor's team. My number one ranked team at the beginning of the season. I think I gave you the kiss of death. I think is the problem, and I apologize. You got Jared Goff, 18 of 18 last night. Perfect game. Caught a touchdown. He was awesome.
He had the stack. He had the quarterback throws both ways.
The stack, but you had Christian Watson give you a nice big dud, as Christian Watson loves to do to people that still continue to draft him. Sucks, man, but at least you started the right tight end. You got Jake Ferguson in there. God, it's not good. It's not good, Taylor. I'm sorry.
I don't think a lot of this is Taylor. I still think Taylor drafted a good team, but like Jalen Waddle would be a great player if Tua was healthy, and Christian Watson would probably be doing fine. Well, I mean, he got hurt is why he has a dud, but it's not like that's a freak thing. Like he just gets hurt all the time. So, but you want to draft for ceiling, so you assume they'll be healthy. I still think he has like a good. I mean, all right, he has a good team on paper.
His team's got paper hamstrings. Christian Watson, did you hear over the offseason? He fixed how he runs. Did you see this stuff? Yeah, he developed a new run. Didn't work, unfortunately. You hate to see it.
It's another guy I would never draft ever in a million years.
Never again.
It was low. It was low. It wasn't a lot this year to draft.
He's like Will Fuller. He's just like he's never gonna play, and when he plays, he's gonna catch one ball for like 75 yards or something.
Will Fuller.
And all right, here we go. Here we go. It's the matchup of the week. Corby, do you want us to go first? Or you got notes here.
I'll just break it down. I mean, it started off great with neighbors. It was wonderful. It was great. I was feeling wonderful. I was at the Broncos game on Sunday, so I wasn't really paying attention to this very, very much. But I, every time I saw the Atlanta game, like score go up, I was like, who scored in Atlanta? Who scored in Atlanta? And it was never Kyle Pitts. Dude got 3 targets, 0 points.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks.
This guy stinks, and I'm not gonna spoil it. But anyways, it was a. I felt really good after Sunday. I was a little nervous because the past couple of weeks have been kind of the coin flip weeks for me. Everyone's been a nail biter. Then Kenneth Walker just decides he's him. It scores 3 touchdowns. Thankfully, just took the final drive off. They needed Zach Charbonnet in there for some reason, not give it to your best running back. I appreciate that. So I just feel like I lucked into it with Calvin Ridley having my back and only scoring 2.5 points as Calvin Ridley does. Yeah, that's it. That's really it. That's all my notes is that I feel like I got lucky and I feel like I survived last night for sure.
Yeah, I had 2 notes here. One, yeah, it's the Calvin Ridley sleeper agent game because this was we were both so on this guy last year. And I don't know how I feel like I was so off of this guy this year. Didn't want to be near Calvin Ridley.
Did not even consider even placing a single bid on him.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah.
I would never
I'm so happy that I'm going to say that you won it because of Calvin Ridley. And you also won it because of one of my favorite things in the league. And it's a little risky that you did this against the commissioner. You won on defense. You won. You had an 11-point difference here and a 4-point difference up here. You won because Cleveland's defense had a touchdown. I love when that happens. Love it.
Yeah, this is a tragic one for Tyler, who slips to 1-3 despite having I'm pretty sure he has a top 6 points for in the league. And he's got a really solid team. One guy we didn't bring up is Khalil Shakir, who's just been like so solid this year. He's clearly like the leading target in Buffalo. So that's an awesome, he was probably like a $1 or $2 player. So that's great. Tyler's got a really good team. It's just a bummer to go 1-3. But for Corby, it was a beautiful Zay in the neighborhood for him because even though Zay only got 2 points. Yeah, it's funny because you really walked the you walked the balance beam here because you not to talk about another league, but you needed Walker to go off in 2 tight end and you didn't need him to go off too much in this league, and he did it. So
it was last night was literally a perfect storm. I was so happy when Gino threw the pick, and I was like, it's over. There's no more points to be had tonight. It's over. We're done and whatnot. Before we move on, I just want to give a shout out to Mike Gesicki for outscoring Kyle Pitts for 1 catch, -9 yards. Amazing stat line. Amazing.
This is like we keep mentioning. Tyler's got a history of incredible tight end stat lines. I cannot wait. I mean,
wait a minute.
You could have picked up Austin Hooper.
You would have
gotten honey. Yeah, you could have won with Austin Hooper last week. So just think about that. Just think about that. Oh, speaking of thinking about it, there's a lot of thinking and regretting going on in my other game of the week as Chris P in, I'm going to say it, the final battle for DeBerry plants the flag with a 1-point victory over the Brisson Hal Gaib. Wow, that's a great team name, Mike. I wonder how many points that guy scored. 3.8 points, 4 rushing yards on 10 carries. You have got to be heartbroken over just this stat line alone. I don't think there's much more for me to say. Like this has to be the floor, right? Has to be the floor for your team.
Yeah, there's no way that it's not. I'm kind of confused as to why they got away from him. Maybe they were just riding the hot hand or something, or maybe it was Braylon Allen's birthday or something, or I don't know. That's probably fake. But yeah, this was a close one. I guess I didn't realize that going over the notes and whatnot. Cool, great job, Chris. Awesome.
Yeah. So this one, who was playing on Monday here on Chris's team? Because I know that last night. Oh, the Achan. And so like it was like a sure thing, right? Because all he had was Achan, and he didn't need many points, but he kind of barely won here, so that was a big surprise. Yeah, the Dolphins are in trouble. This brings Chris to 3-1. I think he has like the third or fourth fewest points in the league. And I'm bringing this up for everyone just to give context. You know, it's so early. I mean, it's 4 games, so it's kind of like a quarter into the regular season, a little more. But to bring just, giving context to these records of like it's early, don't panic unless maybe you're Taylor. 0-4 is tough. But Mike, awesome team still. I'd still put you number 1, off week, whatever. Like if this is your floor game, I would love a floor of 124. I've already scored less than that. So, you got a great team. Chris, you're 3-1. So I guess you have a good team too.
All you need is Jerry Jeudy to get double-digit points every week. That's all you need. That's all you need. Oh, man. From all you need to all you can eat over here as Colin nearly gets a 100-point smash burger over cousin Chris. Colin, you want a victory lap here? You got anything to say?
Sure. It was a fun lap game where, I doubled his score. So that's always a fun.
Yep.
I might not have got the 100 one, but I lapped them. This was the battle of the trade. And it was a massacre. It looked like Waterloo out there or something, man. It was people. But you know what? Zach Ertz outscored Mark Andrews, so it was a Pyrrhic victory for me, if you ask me. Yeah, it was a great game for my team, great game for everybody. The only bummer is, I had guys on my bench. Could have scored a little more. I need those points in the standings. DeAndre Swift and Justice Hill both had 20 plus. So if anyone needs some depth, come to me. We'll get into that in a second, though. Funniest note is obviously that 2 weeks ago, Chris started Xavier Legette, who got 0 points.
Yeah,
and I got his revenge.
That is precisely my only note here, Colin. And it's Chris, this is going to be in the running for lowest score of the year, and we haven't hit bye weeks yet. Seeing no one on your team other than Rico Dowdle get double digits hurts my eyes, especially knowing, like Colin just said, if you had just stayed the course with Xavier Legette, he would have been the highest scoring player on your team by a decent margin. That is rough, man. But don't worry. I think, sometimes a child needs both good and bad examples. Hopefully Jed can learn something from this. I can't wait to see him, lap us. He's going to be doubling up Colin's score here in 2040. Can't wait for it.
I don't really have anything to add. I'm just gonna rub salt in the wound. Chris, your team is awful, really bad. Definitely worse than Taylor's. Like, holy fuck, dude. My God.
I don't want to overreact because Josh Allen's going to average more than 7 points. Like, he's got good players who just had bad weeks, but they all lined up perfectly terribly for like high single digits. Oh,
I would not say terrible. Zach Ertz, he had a great week. Great week.
2-point conversion.
One other funny thing about this is that Rico played on Thursday, and he was the only player in I think of this matchup did, and I was like, "Oh boy, I'm thinking I might lose this game." So
Rico Dowdle went off.
So unfortunately, Chris only gets 2 good news stories for the week. I'm sorry, only one, and it's really the Zach Ertz thing because there was only one suicide loser this last week. And it's Chris Colby, who loses by a point in the battle for DeBerry. Chris Cloud, Eric, and Taylor move on. It's interesting to see both Chris and Taylor kind of mirroring each other these past couple of weeks.
Illusion.
Can't wait to see if things switch up a little bit here in week 5. I'm also going to do it. I've only got one victory lap I really can take this week, and it's a perfect 6-0 on the pick'em. Not a huge thing because we picked 5 of the same games, but I got the Chris P. Battle for DeBerry right. That's the only one I got to say that I did better than anyone else. The Coin also had a good week. They were 2 games below 500. Corby, what did they do this week?
They were perfectly balanced, as all things should be.
Bringing it back.
For all you old heads.
And that's going to make the current standings in the league look a little bit like this, where we've got no undefeated teams, but 1 through 9, all with at least 2 wins. So I'm really happy with the parity we're seeing so far. Can't wait to see if somebody starts to separate from the spread of different win-loss records to a nice little spread of name changes. Corby, hit the button.
That's right. We had 3 great name changes this week. All boom candidates. So let's start with Adam. He's got fucking worthless idiot.
where Adam again shows an incredible amount of effort to not just download an image of Patrick Mahomes, but also go into some type of editing software and write the words "butt ugly, bitch, stupid as fuck." I'm glad that Yahoo has not put any kind of censor on the images yet. We can get away with throwing some slang out.
Well, if they're not going to put a censor on the names, then I don't think they will. But yes, great job, Adam. I'm gonna be the first boomer here. I'll give this one 4 booms out of 5.
Wow, that's great. I'm also gonna give it 4 booms out of 5.
Boom! 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 Boom!
I really like it. I am assuming that you put the text here via Mac OS preview, and if you did, please confirm that because I think that's really funny.
Plus, it's a great image. It's slightly off-centered. There's a lot to love about fucking worthless idiot.
Yeah, the image is also great because it really is evocative of the photo of Rex Ryan throwing the football.
Yeah,
we like it, and it's good. It's good stuff. Wow, look at this one. Holy crap.
Yeah. So some more good stuff here with Chef Boyardee. This one got me really excited, Chris. This one had me checking your roster. It had me checking who you were starting. I was like, show me Boyle. No Boyle. It had me checking the bench. No Boyle. It's basically just, I hope that Boyle throws it well to Tyreek Hill. And I kind of like that even more. That's like a bit esoteric with wanting to shout out Boyle. I want to know in the comments, did you think of the team name and then say, okay, I'm going to do this? Or were you like thinking Boyle first and then team name second? Was it a Boyle theme here for you?
Or were you eating Chef Boyardee and thinking about Tim? Is it Tim Boyle? I've never eaten Chef Boyardee. Is it good?
It's probably exactly what you think it is. It's
It's
better
probably
than
as good as his name. Whoa, that's we'll have to see about that. I'm gonna give this one 3 booms on the boom meter, Chris.
Boom! Boom! Boom!
I like it, but you don't have Boyle on your team.
Pick up Tim Boyle, you coward. Make it a 5 boomer. Don't do it, Chris. Don't do it.
Yeah, I'm with both of you guys. It's oh wow, there we go. Look at that high def. Look at those high-end Chef Boyardee graphics.
Forgot to zoom in. One thing I really appreciate about this one is it's not just a black rectangle. It's clearly scribbled back and forth hundreds of times. It's very clean from far away, but zoomed in, you get to see the psychopathy that went into making this team picture, which I appreciate.
I do like the text. The text choice is nice too. It's very good.
Yeah. It looks like you're printing out a label maker here. I like it.
Yeah, this one was done earlier today. I got a little preview while I was at work. This is Need for Shaheed for Brandy.
It's supposed to start like this. Yeah, there we go.
I mean, it is what it is. Look at it. It's Rashid Shaheed on the cover of Need for Speed, or whatever that fucking weird movie that was starring the guy from Breaking Bad. It's very strange. You remember they made that movie?
They made a Need for Speed movie?
Yes, they made a Need for Speed movie starring
Aaron Paul?
Yes, Aaron Paul. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, Aaron Paul. Isn't that strange? And
That is very strange.
and this is evocative of that excellent film that I will probably watch now. I mean, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna give it 5 booms on the boom meter.
Boom!
This is a great one.
Boom!
Damn, I love the upgrade there, Corby. I need to know one thing because I know you got the inside scoop here. The extra effort on getting cool text here for Shahid, was this something that Brandy downloaded, or did they just like find the perfect text in their editing software of choice?
So I think it's all done through Photoshop Express, which is an iOS app,
Mhm.
and I'm assuming that it's probably just a text that is installed on that application. I'm not sure what the choice is there or where the choice
Right.
comes from, but that's all
Be-
I can give you.
Because you're even getting background fill for where the word speed used to be. There's a lot of like high effort that's mixed in here that I really want to get to the bottom of. Oh boy, not a huge week for transactions here as we transition to the next one. We had 2 contested fab offers. The first one was for Andre Yosivas. Throw Rogan. You know, we talked a lot about, oh man, you spent 89 fab dollars week 1 into week 2. How are you going to win anyone else this year? And Chris says, watch this. Spends his last $11 on Andre Yosivas. Beats out Chris Cloud. So you beat out a guy by $5. Can't feel too bad about it. I like the move. You got to like this move if you're not a T. Higgins fan.
Oh, certainly. That guy will definitely get hurt eventually, and you'll be able to slot him right in, and he'll get you like 12 points or something.
And speaking of the whole, you know, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. I feel like every year there's like 5 of these, and Adam is losing 4 of them. It's a $0 contested against $0 fab bid, where Corby, you come away with it. Are you happy with Tyler Huntley so far?
Oh God.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
No, it was really tough to watch him last night, but he did have 11 fantasy points, and I think most of that was a rushing touchdown. I picked him up because I needed a backup quarterback. I don't know how long he's going to be starting for, and I probably won't keep him for very long. I might even drop him tonight. I don't know. Don't know. Don't care. It was $0.
Yeah. Can't complain about beating Adam for $0.
It's true.
We had one more transaction this week that I want to highlight as my new segment alert. Fitzy's favorite transaction of the week. And it's huge credit to Brandy here. Brandy looks forward. This is after, basically after matchups are done. A.D. Mitchell looks bad, not very good the last many weeks. He's not getting the targets from Joe Flacco, right? It's bad juju. You know you're going to drop this guy. Drop him before Seattle plays on Monday night, knowing that Seattle is playing the Giants the following week. And then you drop Pittsburgh after the games are over. This is a 1,000 IQ move here from Brandy. I love to see the proactive getting ahead of waivers by taking advantage of Yahoo systems here on a Monday evening.
It's just sad that A.D. Mitchell is the victim and not somebody like Josh Palmer. Or
Yeah.
Does he go by A.D. Mitchell?
I
think
know.
so.
I've never heard that.
I think I heard it on a podcast or something. It's just.
I know you heard it on this podcast, but I've been calling him A.D. Mitchell since before the draft.
And I've always just been like this. Is he just playing it safe, or is he just?
Oh, I know how
to
pronounce Adonai.
I think it's Adonai. No, I'm just joking. Yeah, good for Brandy. One thing I do want to talk about that won't show up here though is that fact that we're coming into week 5, and there's a lot of desperate managers, as evidenced by our league chat. Where 3 different managers today, probably is a domino effect, where 3 managers basically said, send me trades, like I'm trying to I'm trying to make some moves, blow my team up. We're getting to that time of the year, guys. So I'm excited for hopefully a lot of trades in future episodes, because I think we have 2 on the year, one for me and one for you.
2.5.
Well, yes, thank you for following this up. So, did you guys send any offers to Adam Taylor, or was it Chris Colby? Did you guys send any offers?
Not yet. Pulling the curtain back here a little bit. I've basically been working and sleeping so far this week. That includes a nap, so I won't be too mad about it. Good nap time today. But yeah, we're gonna catch up on this tomorrow. Probably post fab.
Yeah, same.
I've been working and sleeping too, but I include fantasy and working.
Fair enough.
All right. That's going to bring us to a fan favorite segment. Corby, it's Yahoo Comment of the Week. And Corby, you've got a banger to start us off.
I do have four pretty good ones this week. This one about Mark Andrews. Too bad he survived the car crash. Kind of unbelievable. 27 thumbs down is maybe the least or the most amount of thumbs down I've seen ever.
I can't believe the moderators didn't grab this. Or maybe they didn't. This was 15 minutes, so maybe they did, but they probably did.
15 minutes is a long time on that comment board.
On one hand, like that's awful, but on the other hand, it's also hilarious.
And when you say the one hand gets 3 thumbs up, the other hand gets 27 thumbs down. I'm surprised by this ratio. I think that like after getting a 0 point, people are degenerates in these Yahoo comments. I'm surprised that it's not 27-3 the other way.
It's true.
In fact, these comment boards transform me to a degenerate. Like I would be thumbing this up. Like that's
definitely would.
Part of the party here. I got to give credit to Rob. The full sentence structure, capital T, period at the end. That's not something you see a lot in here. Maybe dropping the period and going all lowercase would have flipped it for him.
On the other spectrum, we've got a comment on Mike Gesicki from Joshua who said, "I scored more points than him," which I guess technically you did if you are not playing PPR, because he probably had negative 0.9 points in standard format.
Oh, that's right. And half PPR, yeah. First of all, great transitions, Fitzy, if we hadn't already shouted that out. I liked how the last message turned into a butterfly and flew away or whatever. That was cool.
Well, thank you.
And second of all, I like to think just like how you brought up the last person's capital T and period, this person really went on the opposite end, and I think I like that even better because they scored more points.
I didn't realize the grammatical errors here until I added them to the slide deck. So that's great.
It's great, and it's a weird guy to dunk on. Like Mike Gesicki, we didn't expect him to be relevant this year. I don't know, Joshua. Pick your battles, man.
Okay, my spicy hot take is that if in the right situation, I think Mike Gesicki could be like a top 5 tight end in the NFL.
Oh,
But like that is what, as someone who convinced himself of that like several times already, like I feel like that's the thing with Mike Gesicki, you know.
Oh, definitely, no doubt about it. But
I feel like-
that's like a hill I'll die on, though.
What
forever.
is it though? What is it? Because I was there too. Like, why do people think that?
So I think it's because like
You have one good year or something.
when
But-
not even like a good year. It's like when he was in Miami, every time he got past the ball, he did something absolutely insane to
Yeah.
catch it. And so I was like, this guy should get like 10 targets a game because he'd be doing like fucking front flips, or he'd be doing this or doing over here. Like I just feel like he was a freak, but maybe
I think the 6 games or whatever that Fitzpatrick played in Miami, I think he did wicked good, but that just never happened again.
you know, you look back at the great history of tight ends in Miami. You remember Julius Thomas being there, Jordan Cameron's year there,
oh wow.
the barn burner, and my personal favorite, Charles Clay. I am with you. I've got a soft spot for Dolphins tight ends. Part of me wishes I was still starting Jonnu Smith this year. I can't wait to see who they have a tight end next year for me.
We've all spotted Durham Smythe a few times in the 2 tight
Oh,
ends.
definitely.
You know, he's been
Okay.
on their roster for 5 years.
I
Durham
believe
Smythe.
it. That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. We've
Really?
all done it.
5 years? Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's crazy. No, almost as crazy as this comment. For some reason, I typed in Tom looking for Tom Brady, and there was only one Tom in the Yahoo available players, and that's Tom Kennedy. And so then I went to the comments, and the last comment was looking for Tom, LOL. And this guy obviously was looking for Tom Brady as well, and I was the only one there, as you
What
can
was
see.
it? 83 comments on Tom Kennedy. That's so weird.
It was like 80 something, maybe. I
Were
can't.
they all looking for?
This was the only one that I can recollect, to be quite honest with you, because
So what-
I opened it and I laughed and I did the screenshot and I just closed it instantly. I'm like, I'm not sticking around here for very long.
There is a tight end on the Seahawks named Brady Russell who has a very similar comment section.
The best Brady in the NFL.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's really good. All right, last one. This one's for my boy. This one's for my boy Kyle. Yeah. Thanks, Mies, for the beautiful art. That's me drafting Kyle Pitts in multiple leagues this year with 18 thumbs up. You gotta love it, dude. Gotta
18
love
thumbs
it.
up. A little bit of I love the clown copy pasta, and we all know my favorite detail because I'm a details guy in these comments. It's the B. Shout out to the B.
I didn't even notice it.
It's a thumbs up. So it's a big face with a little thumbs up.
I
Yeah,
knew it
B
was
for boom meter. He knew he was coming
Beam
on
for
this pod
boom.
today.
Beam for boom.
Yeah, I'm excited to go on this same ride with Kyle Pitts next year with whoever wants to go on it. We'll see who wants to go on it next year.
I'll draft him again next year for sure.
I'll be back. I'll be back in. Yeah.
He's gonna be in the best shape of his life.
You see these stats like his separation score and and zone.
Are they
is
good or bad?
They're
like,
horrible.
I don't
It's
know.
like last.
So I don't know how this metric is calculated, but he got a 0 for both, meaning he is 100% covered on every play. He's an athletic freak,
He's so bad.
allegedly.
Crazy.
All right, we go from so bad to, well, let's see what happens. It's week 5. And Corby's starting things off with the very nice projection against our friend and loyal listener, Adam. Adam's got Clyde Edwards-Helaire currently in his lineup. Lining up against Jerome Ford. Corby, do you like your odds here?
This feels like a trap game, maybe. Maybe Mahomes gets mad and he comes out and slings the ball a million times to Kelsey and Worthy. I don't know. In the same vein, we've got Jordan Addison finally in the lineup. He scored 16 points on Adam's bench last week, which was unfortunate, and he's probably not going to get the Sauce Gardner treatment. So I like that for Adam too. Zach Moss looked great. JSN's got a cake matchup. Gotta love it. Caleb Williams got a cake matchup. I haven't set my lineup yet. I certainly won't be starting Kyle Pitts. I've got the Muth on deck to start for me for the first time this season, which is disgusting because I don't care for that man. I've got some roster shopping to do, but I still feel confident, even though I still think it's a trap game. So I'm going to take myself here.
Yeah, Corby, I am totally with you. I'd love to see you start Chase Brown to like counteract his Zach Moss, just to make it a little interesting, because I think this is going to be a pretty easy one for you. But I think the Saints have a decent defense, I believe, and I think the Chiefs will just not do good. So it's pretty easy for me. Your team is coming off a hot game. His is coming off a not cold one, but definitely a cool one. Give me Corby. He's gonna have a good week. I love your roster. I had you high ranked at the beginning of the season. I still love it.
All right. The question now is, do I have the guts to go on Adam Island? And I don't think I do. It's really, for me, Corby, I love that you're starting the two quarterbacks that are playing against each other, plus the stack. If you think that Cincinnati and Baltimore is going to be a decently high-scoring affair, specifically without going to Zach Moss, then this is going to go well for you. I want Corby here. Not going to be lock of the week. You're going to hear me say lock of the week before I tell you who I think is going to be winning a future matchup.
Before we move on, Adam, I will pose, if you're listening to this part, I will pose a bet to you. Chase Brown versus Zach Moss straight up. Let me know. Oh, and of course the coin. Welcome back, the coin.
The coin, while very thin, does have guts because the coin is taking Adam. What do you
Oh,
guys want to
shit.
take this one? Yeah.
It's the battle for Frederick Street, or Frederick Street. Look at these projections: 104 to 74 points. Oh my goodness! Do you think Taylor can score above 100 points? We're gonna find out once he sets his lineup and gets all these people who are not gonna play out of his lineup. I don't know who is on his bench, so yeah, this is going to be a cakewalk for Tyler, who is in desperate need in order to keep up his playoff chances. So I'm in for Tyler, and this is going to be my lock of the week.
We're gonna unless Taylor makes a move here, we're gonna see a fun Taysom Hill at quarterback start this week.
Oh,
Because
fuck.
that's who he's got on the bench.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for that. Other than that, I mean, his bench doesn't really have many people he can plug in. He's got a lot of guys on bye in his starting lineup and out. Hopefully, Joe Mixon will play because he needs him, clearly. If he doesn't, then, I mean, this is already as close as a guaranteed loss.
Well, if he doesn't, he can always start Troy Franklin. You know, that'll go well. I don't. Is this my second time learning this guy's name live on the pod?
Yeah.
This guy should not be on the roster.
I don't know how he's rostered and Lil Jordan Humphrey isn't.
Right.
I think he's earning more points than him, but it's a totem, I guess. Sure. Give me, I ranked him number one. I'm gonna have to take Tyler here. I would lock it in, but I don't want to. I feel like we could all lock this in, but let's spread our locks out. So
No. You can feel free. I'm not going to be locking this in. It's going to be Tyler. I'm showing the live projection. We take these screenshots just before we record, but Tyler, shout out for setting your lineup on a Tuesday evening here. As you flip to a 90% favorite in this matchup, prior to Taylor setting his lineup, of course. The thing is, I had to bring this up live to see who's on the bench to be slotted in. And the answer is, wow. That's the whole well, yeah, you do need Joe Mixon and some more help. And I just don't know if we're going to get it. So, yeah, this is a pretty easy Tyler pick for me. We're going to flip the old coin, and the coin is making it a full round of Tyler. All right, I'll take this one here, as we've got one of the higher scoring matchups of the week here. Week 5 buys are kind of hitting us all pretty hard, but we got Mike looking for a big bounce back here to project himself up to 4-1 against Eric, who is perfectly balanced, as all things should be. I think this one is kind of simple. I think Mike is going to get a bounce back in a big way. And when I say bounce back, yeah, I know he had a decent score last week, 125 or so. I think he's way under projected here. I think Mike's going to be putting up at least 150 this week. So Eric, you're going to have to score pretty high to keep up with Mike. It could happen. Your defense is going to slide in and make this close to a 50-50. But until that happens, I'm taking Mike.
yeah, I feel like we all have a pretty strong consensus that Mike, and I feel like we do, that Mike has the best team. And I know Zach Charbonnet just had a pretty good week with Kenneth Walker's first game back. He's getting the Theo Riddick role. He's getting his catches. He's getting his work in the passing game, and I respect that. But I just, as long as you're starting, or maybe he could be a decent RB2. I don't know. I like your team, Eric. Is it launch button worthy? It's hard to say yet. We know Mike's team is already there. He's been to the moon and back. You're still, you're still doing your drills, but it's early in the season. I know Eric's MO. Mike's, give me Mike.
I'm just going to interject for a second, because Eric is not hitting any launch or panic buttons this year. I'm telling you, he's sitting on the recliner, hitting the up and down button. He's just having a nice, relaxed season. I can make a bet right now that he is going to always be within one win of 500. His team is just constructed that way. Corby, go ahead. Sorry.
That's okay. This feels like such a blow-up spot for both these teams. Like, Tank Dell's been really disappointing this season, but he's going to get his for sure. But if Michael Pittman is playing with Joe Flacco, maybe that boosts him up there. I don't know if Anthony Richardson is missing any time or anything. Ayuk has been absolutely shitty for Eric, and he's going to get right eventually, hopefully. Trevor Lawrence sucks though, so that's terrible. Jaden Reed, like you guys said before, he's always going to be good apparently, and Mike's out Rod God, so this is probably going to be the closest matchup of the week. You guys are picking Mike. I'm going to go with Eric this week as a contrarian play.
I don't think that's contrarian at all. Like I said, as soon as he slots that defense in, this is going to say 50-50. Like it's going to be a very good game. But the coin disagrees. The coin is locking in Mike. And we move on from that to what could be a potential lock of the week here. It's really going to come down to the fact that Brandy is somehow currently a 62% favorite without a starting quarterback. So can Brandy find a second quarterback to put into the lineup here? I have not actually checked the current available options. Do you guys think it could happen?
I don't think there's anybody on the waivers.
There is nobody on waivers right now.
Well, people are trying to make moves, so I don't. It could happen. Time to get trade happy. But go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. It's at the end of your.
Oh, sorry. I asked a question. I will continue. Even without that second quarterback, I said this one earlier. No offense to Chris, Brandy's team has only fun players. We're talking about, Kirk Cousins notwithstanding, DK Metcalf, Nico Collins. It's so much fun to watch Jordan Mason. We love Brock Bowers and even Raheed Shaheed. I've got a need for watching him score long touchdowns. There's just nothing but fun on Brandy's team. That's why we play the game. It feels wrong for me to pick anything but Brandy's team from here on out. It's too much fun. So give me Brandy.
Man, even with one quarterback, it's like impossible for me to pick Chris. Like, Jesus Christ. I feel so bad. But and again, this feels like another, like if we get a 1 QB swag strat here and a win, that feels historic to me. I'm not gonna really sugarcoat it. I don't know if Devontae Adams is gonna play. He might. Jacoby Myers might get Surtain treatment. And I don't think it matters because I think the rest of his team is dog shit. So I'll take Brandy. I think Brandy will figure it out roster style.
Even if Brandy wasn't playing Chris this week, I might advocate for them to just go with one quarterback, just because next week, if hopefully, I guess if Levis will be back, you'll have two quarterbacks. And Hurts, not Levis. That Hurts was out there. Two quarterbacks on bye, so you'll have Hurts. You'll be, you can take you're 3-1. You can take a loss, but the fact that you're playing Chris, let's just coast. Chris is employing the 2 tight end swag strat, which is that with Zach Ertz and Colby Parkinson, so that's fun. He's still got remnants of handcuff hideout with Braylon Allen and Roshan in the starting lineup, so that's fun. Give me Brandy.
All right. And the coin likes Brandy as well. It's a full round. Let's see. I'm sorry, Chris. This is the second week in a row where the coin doesn't even want to be on your island. Let's see if we can get, change hearts and minds this week. We believe in you. Except for we didn't pick you. From one Chris to the Chris Bowl, it's Chris P at 3-1 versus Chris Cloud also at 3-1. So this is a battle of behemoths when it comes to Chris's. Right now, this is another one of these, not quite right projections because Chris Cloud has yet to slot in that flex spot with David Montgomery, yet to slot in a tight end for Dallas Goedert. I like Chris P's team and all. I'm going to keep this one simple. I like Chris Cloud's team a little more this week. I think that Houston's going to be doing some fun stuff against Buffalo. If he gets one touchdown to Stephon Diggs, it could blow the doors wide open. So give me Chris Cloud.
Sorry. So we got another. This is obviously the battle of the 3-1 key teams in this Chris Bowl. One of them is a little more legit to me than the rest. I do like Chris's roster in like name wise. Like we all love Jaden Daniels. That's a unanimous 8+. But then some of these guys are guys who like have been good, but I mean Jamar Chase is turning it back up. George Kittle, like these are guys who I've always kind of avoided. So I think he has a good team, but it's just not the kind of guys I like. So I'm gonna go with Chris, who again is a guy who between last year and this year I think I had him really highly ranked. Great team, solid team, good team. He's got T Higgins. Christian Kirk is back on the menu. Yeah, give me Chris Cloud. He's going 4-1.
I'm taking DeBerry Boss here. I'm gonna take Chris P. I think I'm maybe just overly infatuated with Jaden Daniels and think that he can probably carry you for a really long time. I don't think Devon Achane will be nearly as bad as he was this week. I feel like they'll just run the ball nonstop. You'll probably get Eckler back from his concussion, which is awesome. And hopefully Kettle will play, or you have two other tight ends. I don't know. You'll figure it out. I just like your chance. I'm going with you, Chris B.
Corby with the contrarian play. Once again, you're on two islands here this week with Chris P and Eric. Let's see if you've got the guts on this last one, because I don't know, Colin, why you saved this one for last in the show. My lock of the week is Colin. I'm not going to yell about my team again. It's just that my team is designed to lose specifically in week 5. I'm going to show you the bench real quick because I've got Lad McConkey on bye right here. And so is everyone else. Maybe I did overstack Philadelphia and Detroit. That's all right. We're going to be good after week 5. Good work, Colin, on playing me this week.
Clearly what happened is Fitzy looked at our past matchups and was like, well, I'm going to lose to Colin anyway. Might as well pick all the guys who will be on bye when I play. No, not really. Fitzy has a good team, obviously. He's I'm pretty sure cumulatively outscored me in the past 2 weeks. Like if you add them up, I just had one really big week. I am coming off the highest score of the week. I'm also going to lock myself in for the second week in a row. I won't do it next week. That's a little too on theme. Hopefully I can get a new tight end. Other than that, it should be smooth sailing. Fitzy kind of said it all. His team's kind of in shambles this week. I don't want to say in shambles. It's just not there. They're absent. So yeah, I mean, obviously I put it last because it's a podcast battle. But anything can happen. Hopefully I won't lose.
Anything could happen except for a Fitzy victory, is my opinion.
Yeah.
There's no sugarcoating it, Fitz. Yeah, you're probably gonna lose this week. You'll take the week off, and we're on to week 5 or week 6. So I will take Colin here as well.
The fun thing is for this one is just that Chubb and Ingram both very well may not play, and then it's just like you just take 0. It's like, because who are you dropping?
Yeah.
It'll be
Exactly. Yeah. All right. I'm going to pull up one stat before we move on from here, and that is, Colin, you brought up our lifetime record against each other. I did good last year to bring our lifetime record to 13-3 in your favor. So, it's going to be 14-3. We'll see if we can even it out sometime later this year. And it's now time for Bets of the Week, starring Corby, Fitzy, and Colin. We're going to start things off with a quick recap of what happened while we made bets last week, and of course, while we were in person making bets at that Jets game. So to start things off, let's look at things we did live on the pod. Number 1, Zach Ertz versus Mark Andrews in terms of pure fantasy points. I didn't think this one was a hot take. It was a hot pile of something here as Mark Andrews gets handily outscored by Zach Ertz by however many points Zach Ertz scored.
So this was an easy one for me personally. So it's an easy take. Zach Ertz is a great player.
He's him.
He's him.
It's my favorite thing. I don't even remember this next bet. What the hell is this? 2.5 starting defenses over 10 points. I took the over, 50 took the under. And I won. I came out on top, which is
Yeah.
great.
Good. It's funny you say you don't remember it. I remember making this bet. I don't remember saying I think under, but yeah, hey, good bet.
Well, you took over, and then I'm pretty sure Corby said, "I'm pretty sure you fell on the sword like you usually do."
No.
Doing
I said I said I'm done making bets for the content. I'm only being smart. I'm only being
Oh
smart.
God! Just wait till you see what we're about to go
Uh-oh.
over.
And then we had a big old bag here at the Broncos and Jets game, and we're putting the team names in that order for a reason. The first one, Corby said that there would be a sack before a punt. Colin lost the bet. Next, Corby rolled his window down. We're gonna roll this clip right now if we have it.
Broncos win.
And you won it. So congrats. I feel like I owe you $7.5 or something for that one.
Absolutely not. We also, so we took a lot of weird contrarian bets here as well, where I bet a lot on the Jets players. We did Bo Nix versus Aaron Rodgers completion percentage. I don't have the actual figures. I know that Bo Nix was about 40% and Rodgers was about 55 to 60%, I believe. So that was great for me again. I won that one. Fitzy lost that one. We also made a bet on who would win the coin toss. I said the Broncos would, or the bet was the Broncos will lose the coin toss. And sure enough, the Broncos won the coin toss. We also did Greg Dulcich versus Tyler Conklin targets, where I took Tyler Conklin and Fitzy took Greg Dulcich, and Greg Dulcich had 1 target, and Tyler Conklin had 8 targets, getting ever closer to the 87 target count that we're looking for on the bets of the year. We also had a bet. The final bet of the day was moving from our parking spot after the game was over. We had been waiting there for about 20 minutes already, so we put the over-under at 25 minutes starting at 4:50 p.m., and about 5 minutes later, my car was on the way. And so I took the under, and Fitzy took the over.
Oh, so here we had a misunderstanding. I meant we were going to leave the parking lot, not spot.
Oh, okay, yeah, no. So then that's totally.
We will null and void this one because I was going to victory lap that we didn't leave the parking lot for about 30 minutes.
Okay,
No.
I thought it was leaving the parking spot.
We will null this one. My plan was to cut someone off so that you could get out right away. I would have gone under on 2 minutes for leaving the parking spot. Yeah.
Oh, you said parking
I would've
lot.
lost
I thought you said parking spot.
Speaking of things we thought, Colin, being a good producer here for us for this segment, is quickly updating the show notes. As
You're right,
indeed,
yeah.
I did take the over,
You did.
and I did win that 2.5 defenses bet.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm glad you said that because we never would have known that. We never would have gone back and listened to it. But I just went back and listened to it.
Great.
My fault.
I also might see if I got a record of me saying I bet on Bo Nix for anything.
I typed in my notes. Listen.
I believe you. What I'm saying is we were all very bet happy. Me more so than many other people, I'm sure. We had a couple of other bets here in my notebook. Me and Colin had a fun one. Alan Lazard versus any Broncos receiver in fantasy points. Colin takes Lazard. I took any Broncos receiver, and thank the Lord for Cortland Sutton still coming through for me.
Yeah, even after that, he's not on your team anymore, Fitzy, but he's coming through for you.
He's just like Devin Singletary for me, a guy who's always going to be benefiting me. We also had, will the Broncos' best running back beat Braylon Allen in fantasy points? Corby takes Braylon, and I took the field because I love taking the field. I win that one. We also had the over-under on 2.5 lead changes, not counting ties. And you'd think with more than 2.5 lead changes, we saw a great game. Well, I won the bet. We also had the 5th play of the second half will be a pass. I said no. Taylor said yes. And Taylor lucked into a 3rd and long for the 5th play of the second half as he wins the bet. All right, boys. I don't have too much for you this week. Basically my bet bag was emptied out at the game. I've only got a couple here. that I wrote down during the show. Do you have any that you want to bring here forward first?
Are we sure that I took the under on the lead changes? Is that what you have written down?
Uh-oh.
I feel like I distinctly remember. I mean, I might be wrong too, though.
Colin over.
This was you knew that the other thing was reversed, and this is your passive aggressive way of getting back at me. Instead of saying, I know I took the over on defenses, you said, fuck you, Colin. I'm joking.
That's right. I'm always trying to steal $5 at a time from Colin. I don't constantly think about you feeling slighted during the draft. Anyway, new bet time.
I got a bet. All right, so Mike has 3 quarterbacks on his team, and he's starting 2 of them, as most do. He's starting Andy Dalton, and Dak Prescott. He's deciding to sit Bo Nix this year. He's playing Vegas. My bet is that Bo Nix will outscore one of those players and continue the tradition of Mike regret points.
If it were any other roster, Colin, I'm sorry, I can't take this bet even for the content, because I believe in Mike's ability to, even if he makes a change after listening to the pod, whatever decision he makes will be the wrong one. I feel it, so I can't take the bet.
I'll take the bet. I'll definitely take the bet. I'm in. Sit Bo Nix. Do not start him. Don't do it.
Corby, I've got go ahead. Sorry.
Okay. You're saying, yeah, okay. You're saying, yeah, but okay.
I'm telling him what to do.
Right.
Don't start Bo Nix.
So just for context, Andy Dalton is playing the best defense against quarterbacks in fantasy this week. But, you won't take Bo Nix anyway. Okay. Go ahead, Fitzy.
No, I'm moving on to the next bet. It's a pretty similar one, and it is a Corby regret bet. You mentioned that you're going to be putting in Pat Freiermuth over Kyle Pitts. The simple act of you deciding to bench Kyle Pitts means that everyone else, if you own him, start him this week, because Corby benching Kyle Pitts means he's going to get 2 touchdowns this week. He's going to look like rookie Kyle Pitts again. So it sounds like you're not willing to bet on this, but I'm just going to make a tight end regret bet for you. The decision will be wrong because
I have the same bet written down. So
on which side that he's gonna do better? Like he's gonna.
I will take whatever side. I think that whoever I choose to play will do better than the guy on my bench. I'm in.
Okay, yeah, I will go with bench tight end is better.
Okay. Oh God. Well, the good news is if I bench Kyle Pitts in this league, I have him in another league. That means he has to be good in that league. It all makes sense.
I've got another great quarterback bet here. So Taylor and Tyler are in a battle for the ages, as we went over, with Tyler's 90% win probability. But as we said, Taylor hasn't plugged in his lineup, and he's got Taysom Hill. And who's on the other side of that line is Jacoby Brissett. My bet is simple. I think Taysom Hill will outscore Jacoby Brissett.
I think you are just doing this for content, and I want your $5, Colin. Yeah. I'm speaking first quickly because I need this $5.
That
is an insane bet. That's like
battle of the hills. Okay, well, like somebody else took that one. Remember last year? It was a 2v2.
Yeah, I did. Because I'm a fucking idiot. Because listen, Taysom Hill was on an absolute tear.
Jacoby Brissett is awful.
Jacoby Brissett is awful, but he's better than Taysom Hill.
I'm sure Taysom Hill has outscored him once or twice this year in 4 weeks.
He actually did last week.
There we go. Oh,
okay.
Shit, I forgot that he's hurt. Or is he? He's probably fine, right?
I think he's questionable for real. Well, let's say if he does not play, then we'll void it.
All right. I love a bet with conditionals.
We don't have to have the conditions if you don't want.
No, I want the conditional. I wasn't being sarcastic. I love a bet with conditionals.
So clearly, you've seen me the past couple of weeks. I love to make bets about defenses. Here, I love making bets about tight ends. I wish I still had kickers to make bets about. So I'm going back to the well. Colin, I feel like you're probably going to flip on this one. Would you take Ertz or Andrews this week?
I will never not take Ertz over Andrews from this day on. You're saying
Did
I
Andrews? What did Andrews play? Like 3 snaps?
think 10.
10? All right.
Oh, he ran 10 routes. I don't know how many snaps he played.
Are you going to have a different tight end this week?
I would say there's a 90% probability I will have a different tight end.
Okay.
We'll see how I feel waking up tomorrow. I don't know.
Okay. I'm going to go with another tight end regret bet then. It's
Okay.
simply that Mark Andrews will outscore your other tight end this
I
week.
love it. Yeah, let's do it. That's great. You're very familiar with this.
I sure am. Well, not anymore. I love me some Laporta.
I have a bet.
Oh,
My bet is simple. Closest to the pin on Taylor's final score of the week.
Oh no.
So everyone get your pens and your pencils and write down a number. Colin, you go first.
And I'm gonna take it's 9-0. I'm going 90 for Taylor.
All right. Me, I'm going to 86.
Oh no, Corby. I also had 86, as in 86 the
shit.
team. It's done. So let's
Okay.
flip a coin. If you get it right, then you get 86. And if you get it wrong, then you get 87. One of us is going to get boxed in by Colin.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
The coin has been flipped. Heads or tails?
Oh, I didn't even call. Tails.
It is tails, as in good
Okay.
for one drink.
Yeah. I want 86.
I'll take the 87. I like my odds. I hate to keep going on this one. I want to do a very simple, straight up bet. I think I will have the lowest score of the week. I think it's going to be lower than Taylor's.
Oh.
Actually, maybe.
Oh. We should have done closest to the pin on you.
0. I'll take the loss and bench everyone for $5. You kidding me?
Oh, right. That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna need those points for us.
I know. I I know this. Yes.
Nobody knows more about paths to the playoffs than you do. Like I said earlier, like I feel like two of these, like I really don't think Ingram or Chubb will play, and I don't think you can really drop either of them.
I know Chubb will not play.
Right, yes. And like who are you dropping? And the answer's like, I guess Zeke, but then you're just gonna have to place. He's already playing. You need people.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. My options are to make a bad trade to try to win this week.
And that's just not. There's no universe where that's worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you gonna score less than Taylor? I think that Watson's playing the Commanders. I think you'll score more than Taylor, which is not the bet. Just that you'll score the least. So I think you won't be the least in the league.
I was gonna say I'm giving you the field, and you know how much this hurts me.
Right.
I'm giving you the field here.
Right. I'll take you.
Wow. Okay.
Oh wait, no. I'm sorry. I'll take.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. You will take me to outscore at least one person.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
You will beat the field. Not the field. You'll be one of the field. All right, Fitzy, I have one for you.
Uh-oh.
This one is specifically for you. I think that Mike will not hit his projection this week.
Oh, I don't even need to look. I already bet that he was going to go over this.
That's why I said it. Is because that's why it's targeted towards you.
Yeah. Mike, give me a comment right now telling Colin why
I picked Mike to win. I just I think that's a bold thing to say, and he just scored 124. But very well could. He has the most points in the league.
Breece Hall over on 3.4 points this week.
I'll take the under on Cortland Sutton 16.
Okay, fair. Yeah. All right.
Well, maybe I shouldn't. It's Cortland Sutton. You know him.
We good here? All right. We're going to close the book on a big week of bets, a big week of mailbag, and an even bigger week of pick'ems. We are coming to the end of episode 6, the week 5 preview. And why don't we close things out with a gentle reminder to like, comment, and make a new account for your child and subscribe to the Why Do Boys Make podcast so we can continue to grow, continue to get 100+ view weeks, and encourage Yogi Fenoy to stop by once again. You can help us out down there. You can help us out by viewing. We appreciate you all. And on the way out, I'll just remind you all that my name's Fitzy.
I'm Corby.
And I'm Colin.
And gamers, game on.
Did you get an update?
Yeah, Phyllis, I did. It's not good. It's not good at all. It's the worst case scenario.
What are you going to do?
I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I just gotta find some way.
What did you hear?
I can't even bring myself to say it.
Please just tell me. Just tell me, please.
It's a full Achilles tear. They don't even know if he's gonna be ready week 1 next season.
Oh my God. What are you going to do?
I don't know. I don't have the running back depth to overcome this. What am I gonna do? I don't know.
You can make a trade.
For what? My kicker? My roster is depleted.
What about your waiver wire?
No. It's over.